me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill it up engine. In my thoughts up.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Today we're going to be going over 3 options that the Dolphins have. Mike McDaniel in the press conference said that they are going to use this money very well. So they're going to be, today we'll discuss a couple of trade options that we can use the cap for now that we have gotten rid of Byron Jones. I think there are a couple of decent players, and obviously we're going to start off with number 1. It's going to be Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has been talked about going to the Miami Dolphins for a while now, and Dalvin Cook is going to be, a great addition to any singular team. So what I can see the Dolphins doing, obviously Cedric Wilson is going to be included, it looks like, in one of the trade packages. He wants to stay. I get that, but there are just too many receivers in this room for him to really think that it might be feasible. We'll see. Maybe Mike McDaniel wants to keep him on the team, but as for right now, I think he might be included in one of the trades. So Dalvin Cook is one of those rushers that he can do basically everything. He can run down the field, he can shake it, he can do everything. I actually love Dalvin Cook coming out of FSU. I wanted the Dolphins to get him when he was coming out of FSU because I thought he was a monster over there. He's got basically 4.7 yards per attempt, and that is excellent. That's excellent for, I think it's like 1,200, attempts that he's had in his career. Guy is a stud. He's going to be somebody that I think we really should look into just in case. I don't think he's going to go for a high round pick. I think it might be a 3rd or a 4th that we might need to trade for him, and maybe a player or something along those lines. We have a stable of running backs, but honestly, we could trade any of them to get Dalvin Cook. And how I see it going is we could possibly trade maybe like Jeff Wilson, or put a package together of like Jeff Wilson, Salvon Ahmed, and maybe Cedric Wilson. We could do Jeff Wilson, or we could trade Cedric Wilson and maybe pair a 4th round pick for him, call it a day, and just get Dalvin Cook over here and then restructure his contract so that we would have, a decent contract and maybe be able to sign somebody else. Number 2 is going to be, people forget that Devin White on the Buccaneers requested a trade a little while ago. And, we're seeing whatever is going on with the Buccaneers, but he still has requested a trade. So Devin White is one of those athletic freaks. He came out of LSU, I believe it was. And the dude is just a stud. I think he ran like a 4.5 or 4.4 or something like that. Just an athletic freak. And again, the thing is we have, the cap space now from the Byron Jones trade. Listen, I love David Long. Jerome Baker has been Jerome Baker for a while now. I wouldn't be out of the realm to see if maybe we trade for a linebacker after this, cap increase, just based on the fact that if Devin White is available, which I'm sure they have inquired about, depending on what they want for him, I mean, you get Devin White on this team, this defense is going to be ridiculous. I mean, the guy has been a monster, tackling machine. You can't outrun him. He will tackle you to the ground every single time. Interceptions, just all over the place. Devin White is such a stud of a linebacker. I mean, over 100 tackles most years. If the Dolphins were going to, and I see that this scenario probably could happen, you sit there and have Devin White, you trade, I don't know. Again, they need receivers as well. You trade Cedric Wilson, or, you could trade Jerome Baker or somebody along those lines, and maybe a 2nd or a 3rd. Probably a 2nd because it's Devin White. I mean, they're probably going to want something. If they go for a 1st, maybe, I don't know. But Devin White has been a stud for a long, long time. And I could see the Dolphins really inquiring about Devin White and possibly making a move on that. I mean, the guy would immediately, not only is our defense, I think, elite right now, but you add Devin White to that, I mean, this defense will be nuts. It will be ridiculous if you add someone like that. Number 3 is going to be also another person that has inquired about getting traded from his team, Budda Baker. Budda Baker is he's a stud of a strong safety. And I know we got Deshaun Elliott, and I like Deshaun Elliott, you know, but it's one of those things that depending on what they want for Budda Baker is one of those hard-hitting strong safeties that I think would pair so well with Javon Holland. I mean, if you have those two back there, I think it's just going to be ridiculous to see what they can do, especially with Vic Fangio, and he loves his safeties, to have two superstar safeties in the backfield and just have them moving around the field, hitting, laying stick on every single person. Like I said, another tackling machine just like Devin White. Budda Baker has been a stud in this league for a long, long time. Interceptions, just a really, really good, strong safety. Now next we're going to discuss the free agents that we could sign as well after the trade candidates. So we're just going to clump the running backs all together. So you got Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt, and Leonard Fournette. They're still out there. So again, the Dalvin Cook route, if you don't want to spend that much money or trade any assets, well, there are some running backs that are still out there. Ezekiel Elliott, you know, is basically, I wouldn't say he's as good as Dalvin Cook right now, but I mean, he could do the same stuff, you know, coming in, and you probably wouldn't have to pay him as much because he had kind of a down year last year. And honestly, he's still 28, so he's not far off from really being an older player. Kareem Hunt's another good one that, you know, you could really sign, and Leonard Fournette, I'm not really interested in, but whatever. It's a running back option. But honestly, Ezekiel Elliott is still out there. The next one is going to be Dalton Risner, and I think he would be a solid pickup at guard. You know, I don't really think we're going to go for many more offensive linemen. I think we actually got the guys that we were going to be good with. But if we were, I mean, Dalton Risner is another good player that could come in and compete. You know, the Liam Eichenberg situation, I don't really know what's going on with him. You know, he's not really, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Liam Eichenberg. I still think Austin Jackson is going to remain the starter, but I think that they're going to put somebody over there at the guard position, and we'll see. I think Isaiah Wynn is the heavy favorite to be on that side, but you know, if you're not feeling comfortable, I mean, get Dalton Risner. He's only 28, and you can have a solid guard to go along with the rest of the offensive line, because that was a struggle, and we need to fix that coming this year. We need to make sure that that offensive line is good. And honestly, this is going to be, I don't know, a personal favorite, but Jarvis Landry's still out there. And I don't know, if you're a Dolphins fan, I think it would be pretty cool to sign Jarvis Landry, just because it's Jarvis Landry. It'd be really cool to finish his career out with the Dolphins. You know, he was wrongly traded because of stupid Adam Gase, and I don't know, it'd be a cool situation to see Jarvis Landry come back into the fold and finish his career off with the team that he started with, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that's another cool option that I think would be worthy of bringing in. You know, you just get a little bit of depth and, you know, have your the old head in there to guide the young guys on how to be great, you know? So I would say that. So these are going to be the options that I think that we should go after. But as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up. Peace.